Well, the magic in the cow's philosophy, I've had people ask me before, how did you come up with that? Just somebody sometimes asked me, Mr. Jim, what do you think of breeding cattle this way and that? And I've always been strong, maternal oriented. And I just said, well, the magic's in the cows. And he said, the magic's in the cows. Man, that's got a good catch to it. He said, I've been knowing you a long time. That sums up kind of what you think since I've known you. And I said, yeah, it does. What you want when you have the magic in the cows is cattle that consistently produce those good ones. And you'll have a family of cows or 2 or 3 different families in your herd that fall into that pattern. They always produce good ones, even regardless sometimes of the sires. If you don't have good females, you can buy the best herd bulls money can buy, but you're always behind the 8 ball because you don't have those top cows. If you want to raise a herd bull out of a certain bull, just breed him to your top 10 cows. You'll get a herd bull out of him because those cows carry those bulls so much. I just really believe that.
In 1944, Howard Parker founded V8 Ranch. Now, he was a novice in cattle ranching. He didn't have that in his background. He was a Ford automobile dealer. And whenever he started the V8 herd, he purchased 40 head of cattle from Marshall Johnson. His selection method was his own. It was something completely new. And what he decided to do was to find the 40 fattest calves and match them up with their mothers, and then those were the 40 cows that he purchased to start the V8 Ranch herd. His thought process was that the cows that raised the fattest calves had the most maternal strength, and he wanted to build a herd based on the power of a female. In 1971, Mr. Parker's eyesight was declining to the point where he could no longer visually mate the cattle based on phenotype. He decided that if he couldn't mate the cattle the way he wanted to pass the torch to another family to carry it on. In a now well-known story, my grandpa Sloan Williams purchased the V8 Ranch cow herd from Mr. Parker in 1971 and moved the cattle from Center, Texas to Wharton County, where they've lived ever since. And even though V8 Ranch became the Williams family's responsibility, our family took Mr. Parker's vision and made it our own. But one thing that has stayed the same since 1944, over 2 different families owning V8 Ranch, has been that the focus has always been on strong maternal lines.
I love beautiful cows. Nowadays in cattle production, you can buy 3 or 4 of the top cows in the country from somebody. You can be competitive real quick. You get those top cows in your possession and can AI to these different bulls and flush to them. You can get competitive real quick. I won't use a bull on this ranch that I haven't seen the mother of. If I go and buy a bull, and I buy a lot of bulls from J.D. Hudgens, and I always want to see their mother. I'll say, where's this cow's mother? I'll ask, can I see the production record on this cow?
For over 50 years here at V8, we have tried to focus on the female. We have our cow family matriarchs, a famous group of cattle that are household names in the Brahman breed that have impacted our herd tremendously, but also herds worldwide. And when I look at those females, I think what's most impressive is that we have females that would be 40 and 50 years old that are still present in pedigrees today that are important. But what I will tell you is that the magic is not in a single cow. The magic is not in a single type of female. We have all different kinds of cows here at V8 that have made an impact. Different colors, different phenotypes, different pedigrees. Cattle that are branded V8, cattle that come from outside operations. But they're all part of the puzzle that makes V8 Ranch what it is. My dad always says the magic is in the cows. And I think that more than it is a saying, it is a mindset here.